Dear children, in this module, we are going to learn what are cell junctions. Cell junctions are structures which help to join adjacent cells. They provide structural and functional link between the adjacent cell, and that is a function of the cell junctions. The cell junctions are of three types: tight junctions, adhering junctions, and gap junctions. Let us see their functions. The tight junction, we can see this is the tight junction. The tight junction, and its function is to help stop substances from leaking across a tissue. It prevents the leaking of substances from a tissue. And the next type of junction is the adhering junction. The blue colored structure is the adhering junction. And what is the function of the adhering junction? They perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. We put cement between bricks when we are building a structure. In the same way, the adhering junctions perform cementing, or it acts like a cement and binds together the neighboring cells. And the last type of junction is the gap junction. We can see this is the structure of the gap junction. They facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting cytoplasm of adjoining cells. The cytoplasm of adjoining cells are connected together in the gap junction. Why are they connected so? For rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and big molecules. So that is the function of the cell junctions. The three types of cell junctions which connect together neighboring cells. They link the cells structurally and functionally. And the three types of cell junctions are tight junction, adhering junction, and gap junction. Now let us learn about the connective tissue. The connective tissue, it connects together organs and tissue. It links and supports other tissues and organs. And it is the most abundant tissue in the complex animals. Of the four types of animal tissues, the connective tissue is the most abundant tissue present in animal body. All connective tissues except blood. Blood is also a type of connective tissue. So of the different types of connective tissues, blood does not have fibroblast cells, whereas all the other type of connective tissue has fibroblast cells. And these fibroblast cells, they secrete fibrous proteins, and these fibrous proteins are called as collagen and elastin. They are fibers, namely collagen and elastin, which are secreted by specialized cells called as fibroblast cells. And what is the function of these fibers? These elastin and collagen fibers, they provide elasticity, flexibility, and strength to the tissue. If any tissue is requiring elasticity, flexibility, and strength, that particular part of the animal body is made up of connective tissue, which is having fibroblast cells that secrete fibers, namely elastin and collagen. These cells also secrete certain type of matrix, and these matrix are made up of polysaccharides. In addition to fibers, they also secrete matrix, and this matrix are made up of polysaccharides which accumulate between the fibroblast cells and the elastin and collagen fibers. So it is a most abundant tissue in the animal body. They have specialized fibroblast cells which secrete fibers, namely elastin and collagen, and it also secretes matrix which fills inside the spaces between the cells and fibers. And the main function of the connective tissue is that it connects the different tissues and organs. The connective tissues are of three main categories: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. What are the loose connective tissues? They are again divided into two subcategories: areolar and adipose. And the dense connective tissue, they are again subcategorized into dense regular connective tissue and dense irregular connective tissue. And the specialized connective tissues are the cartilage, bone, and blood. Now let us learn about the first type of connective tissue, that is the loose connective tissue. The loose connective tissue, the cells, that is fibroblast, macrophages, mast cells. Have you heard of macrophages and mast cells? They are all types of WBCs which help in the defense system. They fight against any foreign agents which enter into a body. And the fibers, that is the elastin and collagen fibers. So the cells, the cells called as a fibroblast along with mast and macrophages, and the fibers are loosely arranged in the matrix. As I told, there is a cementing material called as the matrix, and this matrix is also secreted by the fibroblast, and within this matrix, which is acting as a cementing material, the cells, namely fibroblast, mast cells and macrophages, and the fibers, elastin and collagen fibers, they are loosely packed or loosely arranged, and thus the name loose connective tissue. And they are of two main types, areolar and adipose. Let us learn about the first type of loose connective tissue, that is areolar tissue. The areolar tissue is present beneath the skin, and its function is to support the framework for, or to give a suitable framework for, the epithelium. We learnt about the compound epithelium, which is multi-layered, and the compound epithelium is present in the skin, and for this epithelium the framework is provided by the loose connective tissue, that is the areolar tissue. And the second type of the loose connective tissue is the adipose tissue. These adipose tissues again seen beneath the skin, and it has cells, specialized cells called as adipocytes. They have specialized cells called as the adipocytes. These are the adipocytes, and the function of the adipocytes is to store the fat. Excess fat is stored in these adipocytes. We can see the fat storage area inside the cells, and these excess nutrients are converted into fats and stored in the tissues, and it is acting as an insulator beneath the skin. So two types of loose connective tissues are the adipose tissue and areolar tissue. And loose connective tissue, they have the matrix in which the fibers and cells are loosely arranged. The next type of connective tissue are dense connective tissues. In this type of tissues, the matrix, inside the matrix, the cells and fibers, they are compactly arranged. They are compactly arranged in the matrix, and hence the name dense connective tissue. They are of two types, dense regular connective tissue and dense irregular connective tissue. The dense regular connective tissue, what are these? They show a regular pattern of fibers. We can see in this picture, the fibers are arranged in a regular pattern. That is, the collagen fibers, they are arranged in a regular pattern. And the collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. Between many parallel bundles of fibers, the collagen fibers are arranged in rows. The two types of dense regular connective tissue are tendons and ligaments. What are tendons? They are dense regular connective tissue which attach a skeletal muscle to a bone. A muscle which is connected to the bone, the skeletal muscle which is connected to a bone, and this connection is done with the help of a tendon. And the ligaments are connections, or they are connective tissues which connect one bone to another bone. So bone to bone are connected by means of ligaments, and bone to skeletal muscles are connected together by means of tendons. The next type of dense connective tissue are dense irregular connective tissue, in which the fibroblast and fibers, mostly they are made up of collagen fibers, not the elastin fibers. They have the collagen fibers, and they are arranged in an irregular pattern. In the last type of dense regular connective tissue, we can see that we are having the fibers are arranged in a regular pattern, whereas in the case of irregular connective tissue, dense irregular connective tissue, the fibers and fibroblasts, they are packed in an irregular pattern, and this type of connective tissue is present in the skin.